The folks at Ocala Aviation recently visited North Marion High School to share their passion for flight with students there, as well as the seemingly endless career opportunities available to them in the airline industry.
We want to get out the availability for kids to be able to do flight training for a career, okay, to where they can become pilots and start working in the airlines. The airline industry is growing tremendously. In the next 8 years, they're projecting they're going to need 617,000 pilots. There's a huge shortage. A lot of other countries are sending their students here to try and build up their base back there. So we're trying to spread the word for kids out here that this is a viable career. It's an option of things that they can do right here in Ocala. They don't have to move away. They can do all of their training right here. There's different options, okay? You have the one option is they just want to become a pilot. You can do everything through us. It means you can go all the way to your commercial pilot's license, and then generally what we do is we have somebody become a flight instructor. They have a job immediately the second they get a flight instructor with our school. They start training people. Once they build up their hours, they get more experience, and they start applying to airlines, okay, if that's what they want to do, or they can become a corporate pilot, they can become a missionary pilot. There's all kinds of options. We're also now affiliated with Liberty University, where they offer an online degree. It's a Bachelor of Aeronautics, so they can stay in Marion County. In 2.5 to 3 years, they can get the bachelor's degree and become a commercial pilot. It's a perfect time. They're actually trying to get kids started younger. They can start their training younger, so that by the time they graduate, they're already on their way to becoming pilots, to getting their career going. My goal is to help the community. And what I see is when you see these kids, and like I said, they're going off into other cities, other schools, and they're spending a lot more money than they have to, where they can do everything here. You can cut the cost, still get the good training. We're actually now working with a regional airline that's a feeder program where these kids can finish their program and go right into working a job at a regional airline. When it comes to being a pilot, it's not limited. You don't just have to go and work for a major airline. You can become a charter pilot where you're flying all over, flying private jets. You can fly in the islands. You can fly for UPS. You can fly for Delta. When you start, you go through a program and you get your commercial license. And like I said, then you take that path of, do you want to get your bachelor's degree, or do you want to go right into flight training? And the great thing about this is, because there's so many people hiring, there's a growth. The pay is something that in entry level, like everything else, it starts low, but the growth potential there in the next 5 to 10 years, you're talking $120,000 to $150,000 after 10 years. There's very few jobs that can offer you that, like aviation.
The superintendent's office was relocated to MTI last week, trading the building that houses the school board for the building that houses the curriculum department.
She wants to be in the middle of the curriculum because that's where her focus is: literacy, reading, getting our students up to the achievement where they need to be. So she wants to be in the middle of the curriculum activity. We've probably been working on this for about 8 or 9 months. At least trying to decide where the location should be logistically in this department, in this building. What we did is took pictures of the bookcases, took pictures of the tables and things, so we would know where things were to go back. We unpacked, put them in boxes with a picture that corresponded with that shelf, so we were able to put most of the books back up in the area that they came from.
The Project Search High School Transition Program is a unique, business-led, 1-year school-to-work program that takes place entirely at a workplace. Marion County School District, Goodwill Industries, and Vocational Rehabilitation has teamed up with the Hilton of Ocala to provide this unique experience for Marion County students.
Project Search was founded in 1996 by a group of ladies in Cincinnati, Ohio. The premise at the time was using the hospital was to teach students employment skills, prepare them for the community employment world by true integration. True integration meaning you work aside next to people who are employees that have the same expectations as anyone else, and those students reflect those same expectations, have those expectations placed upon them, but in an environment that allows them to grow and flourish over a school year in preparation to eventually leave for community employment. Many of the students here are usually with the school system are in ESE courses. various forms of different disabilities, to each their own. So everybody's uniquely different, and so there's a collaborative effort of students here that are working, that are trying to accomplish employment outcomes by the end of the school year. Even after they complete here and they exit the schools for good, they remain on our caseloads, and we help them place in the community and provide that job coaching. The Hilton has offered many forms of jobs. Some of them being working up front in the restaurant, taking reservations, help breaking down buffet bars. There's some basic traditional skills in the kitchen in terms of dishwashing, but again, starting with dishwashing and moving themselves up into short orders or prep cooks, things that allow them to grow over the course of the year. Because this program is all school year long, they're going to experience 3 different rotations with 3 different types of employment skills.
When they came in for their assessments, they were absolutely like thrilled. They were, everyone's like, oh, it's a hotel, I mean, and it's the Hilton. So they were all like, wow, this is fantastic. And it was funny when we initially went through the assessments with them, we asked each of them, what do you like? Which department did you like best? And they're all like laundry. And I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have all 12 people in the laundry. So they were like, yeah, because it's clean and and it smells clean in the laundry and stuff like that. But they've been great, and they all have they all have the willingness to learn, and that's fantastic. They want to be independent, and they're certainly doing showing that they're able to do that.
We have had a period of time when I first started 6 years ago where we were in need of over 22 business partners, and over several years we've been able to kind of work with those business partners by changing procedures and policies and helping to bring more businesses to our schools. The commitment has always been $3,000, but the problem is we have a lot of small businesses out in our county that have cash flow as a big concern of theirs. So we decided at that point to help connect those small businesses with our schools, that we would offer them the option of invoicing, whether that is monthly invoicing, every other month invoicing, or quarterly invoicing. And of course, we still will take the the full payment up front, but we want to give options to those small businesses that are really passionate about getting involved in our schools that may not have that luxury of doing that if they have to write a $3,000 check right up front. The goal is to have 100% of our schools matched with businesses, and we are down to only needing 10 business partners for schools. So if we could reach out and find some other of those businesses that would be willing to take on a partnership, we'd love to see that happen. Those schools that currently have partners are seeing some pretty interesting benefits, and when I say that, I mean that it's not about necessarily the financial commitment. Some of these businesses have been able to come into schools and offer advice on varying topics. They've been able to bring volunteers in the schools. They've been able to do clothing drives, food drives at various times of the years for those families in need at their schools that they're partnered with. And in some cases, they've even gone as far as to offer their expertise in the area of science fair judging. So there's lots that you can do to get involved, and I think that's probably a big misnomer, has been that it's all been about the financial commitment, and it really isn't. It's about that connection with those businesses to our schools and showing them that there is a nice relationship that can be built on both sides.
Nowhere is the connection stronger than at Shady Hill Elementary.
Donna Kress was the principal at Shady Hill, and I did work for her as her assistant principal. We had a great thing going. We were a great team, and we enjoyed working together. So to be able to come back to this school and sit in the same seat at the same desk that Donna sat at one day and have her as my business partner is definitely a privilege, and we definitely have a great working relationship.
It's definitely bringing the two best worlds for me together, and I will always have a special, well, Shady Hill will always have a special place in my heart for sure. And I love the fact that we're in my position at Signature Brands, and because of our philanthropic heart that we have for our community, it's nice that I'm able to continue to be in a different role, but yet give back to Shady Hill and keep them near and dear to what we want to do here. I think even prior to my time at Shady Hill, Signature Brands had a relationship with Shady Hill Elementary School. They did so many things for Shady Hill, like the Signature Brands computer lab, to be, you know, as one of the examples, donating thousands of dollars towards the equipment here. And that relationship just continued to blossom. And then as I transitioned into the private sector from Shady Hill to Signature Brands as the HR director, we wanted to maintain that relationship, and I've worked hard to do that with the principals here and the staff.
Shady Hill really couldn't be as successful of a school as it is without the help and support of our business partner. They do all kinds of things. They sometimes provide monetary donations, which enables us to provide resources to our teachers and to our students. One of the latest things that they did was they provided a breakfast for our faculty the first day that the staff came back. So they really enjoyed that, and it's a great way to help boost our staff morale as well.
One thing that they do for us, which is just warms our heart every year, is they also write us Christmas cards, and they give us different types of thank you cards throughout the year that we were able to post and share with our associates, and they really truly love that.